Gamers, we have the new Prydwen tier list 1.6 for Zenless Zone 0. The release of Trigger is here, and okay, this is copium. Okay, we're getting into this in a second, guys. Any more changes over here in the book? Okay, no changes here. Okay. Oh, okay, we're gonna talk about it. We have some changes here we gotta talk about. There's some I agree with, there's some that I absolutely do not agree with. Let's go ahead and bring this over to our little Excalibur draw here so we can really go into depth here. I really want to see why they have an eyeball, though, on Silver Soldier Ambi or Soldier Zero Ambi, because does that mean they think she's good, or that means she thinks, look, this is how long I haven't done a fucking video, and I have this old ass shit here. Anyways, I don't give a fuck about that right now. So let's start off over here. First things first, guys. I don't really want to make much comment on this. I think this is pretty much the same across the board. I have nothing to gripe about with supports. Everything is the exact same. Nothing's moved up, nothing's moved down, and I think it's right in the place where it needs to be. I don't really think there's been a buffer in the game right now that should be above another one right now. Like, with the release of Silver Soldier Ambi, that was the last DPS we had. I mean, you have Trigger in the game right now. I think Trigger realistically only affects your DPS and probably affects Pulchra as well. Those are the only two characters I see that she affects. So, for that matter, I really don't think there's, like, really any changes that need to be made to this category right here at all. I think this category is completely fine where it's at, so I'm just going to put a big check marker there because I agree with that 100%. Now on to the stun category, because the stun category is a little bit sus, right, guys? Because we have Trigger right here in the same category as a lighter. I don't agree with this. Me personally, guys, I know I get called fucking dog shit and copium in the comment section all the time for this. I don't think that he's a stunner. Genuinely. And also, I think that she's also like, to get her to work, like, really good and properly, I also think that, okay, first of all, I do think she deserves to be up here. I want to let that be known. I do think that the whole kerfuckery with her W engine having, like, crit rate on it, being the only stun engine with crit rate on it, that's kind of fucked. But outside of that, I do think she's an overall good stunner. Like, she's a hybrid support. I would not consider him a hybrid support. Genuinely, guys. The thing with her is that she's off the field all the time. I think that she does probably the same amount of stun that he would do, but she's doing it on a more consistent basis than what he can do, right? Because you have to get him onto the field to get his support buff. Whereas with her, you get her on the field for less time to do that. Like, she has to be on the field, sure, right? But it's overall less time than having him on the field, in my opinion. So, and honestly, for him, I feel like his buffs are much more universal and help on a lot more different classes than what hers do. Hers only really help out, like, aftershock type things and, like, her own damage. This is how I see it, guys. I see Lighter, even though he's a stun character, I see him in the support category. I think if he's a support character, I think he'll probably be up here. I think he's an S-rank support character. I don't think he's an S-rank breaker. If we're judging him on his break capabilities, which I think that the stun category should be used for, if we have characters in the stun category, they should be graded on what their actual stun capabilities are. I think if we're talking in terms of pure stun and pure buff for stun, she provides a more overarching buff, Chingy that is. Because while yes, he does extend the stun timer, what she does is extend that multiplier or increase the multiplier that the enemy is taking when they are stunned, which affects every single damage type versus his fire and ice support, which arguably, let's look at the fire and ice DPS we have in the game right now. We have Miyabi, really good, right? We have her, like, we have good things here, right? But it's not going to affect things like Yanagi, like this. It's not going to affect Jane Doe, it's not going to affect Caesar King, not going to affect Zhu Yan. Like, there's a lot of things that it doesn't affect, right? For that matter, I'd probably be moving him over to support tier, but if we have to keep him in the same tier here, genuinely, guys, if you want to keep him up in this tier, honestly, I'd probably be moving him down here in the stun tier. Because she's off field, so you have more consistent stun with her. Just because she's not on the field, you get more consistent damage out. Chingy's up here for me because I think she's an A tier stunner. I think she is a fucking stunner of stunners. I think she is an amazing stunner, and I think she deserves to be up here in tier 0. I don't think she's fallen off that much as they say she has, but I really don't think that she's a worse stunner than what he is. Like I said, I think he's an S tier support character. I don't think he's an S tier stunner. So with that being said, I think that move him the fuck down, move her the fuck up. And as for this, I agree with this. I think Pulchra is that bitch, bro. I really think that Pulchra is really good. This is the exact statement I said in one of my previous videos, that every single stun character should move down, or every single, like on down should move down, right? I think Pulchra really does change up the game in terms of what stunners can be, just because she is off the field stunning the enemy. So for that matter, I do think that while, yes, his overall stunning capabilities is better than what his is here, than what hers is here, she is off the field doing this. That's just so much better, right? And the thing is with this too, well, I guess you can say this for Pulchra and for Trigger, You can technically run an on-field stunner as well and break the enemy shield even faster. I think that having a sub-breaker, or I guess that's what is that what you would call them, a sub-breaker, like you'd call a sub-DPS, like Bernie is right. I genuinely think that, yeah, this is the same level here. I think he deserves to move down. I think she deserves to move down. I think she deserves to move down. Absolutely agree with this 100%. I do think that every one of these characters deserve to move down, and I do think she's right here. I don't think she's on the level of Lighter, because I do think Lighter's breaking capability does outweigh her breaking capability. Also, the buffs he does provide is better than the whatever she provides as well. Also, he provides the buff as well. And also, her meter runs out pretty quickly, so you do need to be quick assisting a lot more with her than you would need to be quick assisting or assisting onto the field with someone like Trigger. Also, you're going to be needing to skill more as well. I guess it's defensive assist, not quick assisting, I guess you could say, right, with her. But yeah, keeping that meter up is a lot harder than keeping the meter up with him too, or he doesn't have an off-field meter, but you get the point, right? He has his afterburn meter, right? So I think that keeping that meter up with her is a little bit harder, so I think that she deserves to be here. Now let's move on to the DPS category. The category that I want to see is, first of all, why is there an eyeball right here, right? Are they talking about moving her up or moving her down? Because there's no shot you move her down. I think that she is, bar none, better than every single one of these DPS here. 100%, I think she is the best lightning DPS. If anything, you'd move everyone down one tier and keep her here. There's no shot. Okay, let's read this here. Added watch list. Sam begins more than most through the inclusion of trigger teams. Given her boost, we're now considering her for T0. Yep, I agree. 100%. I agree. 100%. Already, in my opinion, guys, she was already close to tier 0 with Miyabi. I think Miyabi's better still, by the way. Even with the addition of trigger, I still think that Miyabi is better. But, with that being said, I don't think the gap is a full tier ahead of what Silver Soldier Ambi can do, even without trigger, and what Miyabi can do. Yeah, I agree with this. I think she's up here. I do think that she does gap what these characters do right here. Now, in terms of Haramasa, yo, my boy Haramasa getting some love. Now, is that because electricity's been more revitalized with her? Sure, right? But yes, I do agree. I've been saying that Haramasa is not worse than Ellen Joe. I think Ellen Joe is worse than what these characters are. Genuinely, guys, if you don't have a good stunner on your account, I think that she drops tremendously as well. I think that she's in their tier if she does not have a good stunner like Chingy on your account to consistently have the enemy stunned, that her value is lost. Genuinely, I think that Haramasa's value, though he is harder to actually play, is more than what Zhuyan's is, just because of the fact that Haramasa really doesn't need like all the extra frills that she needs. Like, she needs to have the enemy stunned. All you need with him is either Anomaly or having the enemy stunned, right? And with that being said, he's electric type as well, so he also works with trigger pretty nicely as well. So, like, I can definitely see a combo being ran with someone like Trigger here. You could probably run maybe like another support character or something. You could probably even run like a Anbi here as well to get the extra to get some extra impact off on the enemy and break the enemy shield down faster for him to pop in and do his additional damage. So yeah, I mean, like, overall, guys, I mean, I do agree with him getting moved up 100%. This is a great move on their part, but I don't really have any frills about that. Now, I've always said I think that he deserves to be up here. I think Anton is much better than what people give him credit for. And I think that Billy moves down. I don't think there's any shot that Billy is in the position that they say he's in right now. Okay, so move him down. I think Trigger is fine where she needs to be. Like, overall, I mean, I don't have very many gripes with the tier list. I think my biggest gripe is literally Lighter being over in the stun category. I think he's in more of a supporter role than he is a stunner, in my personal opinion. I think he does much more as a supporter than a stunner. So I'll be moving him over there. I'll be moving her up. Yeah, Silver Soldier Ambi moves up. I'm curious to see some of the other changelogs here. Trigger, tier 0 stunner. Yeah, she's really good. Like, very good off-field DPS. I agree with that. But, okay, Chingy. Chingy is our first character you have tier 0 in a very long time. However, enough time has passed that enough DPS characters don't synergize particularly well with her. I guess I think you can agree that, like, DPS characters don't synergize particularly well with her. So if we're talking from a synergy point of view, then sure, right? But overall, just, like, Chingy is not a bad A. Yeah, she has very big team flexibility still. I still think that she is better. I still think she deserves to be up here. I understand the reasoning for moving her down. I don't agree with it, though. I understand the reasoning for moving her down, right? I just don't necessarily fully agree with why they're moving. I don't agree with the reason. I don't agree with them moving her down for that reason, though. I still think she is tier 0, for my opinion, honestly. But all in all, guys, what do you think of the changes to the Prydwen ZZ tier list with the release of Trigger? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you guys' thoughts are on this. we have to get back to making build guides and everything like that. These are like I've recorded 4 videos today ever since getting back from Japan. So this is the 4th video today. I'm going to try to get through and edit these videos, and we got to get back to the build guide, guys. We have to get back. Let me know in the comment section down below what content you want to see, because I do want to change the content on this channel. I really do. I want to make more fun content for you guys. So let me know what content you guys want to see in the comment section down below, because we all know I'm Copium. So if you want to see more stuff like this, then sure, I'm probably still going to continue making stuff like this, but let me know. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Later. Bye-bye. See you later. Bye, gamers. Bye, everyone.